We're here in the hills of West Virginia at the legendary Pensboro Speedway, reviewing the 1981 Dirt Track Championship here at the Speedway. The hills were full of thousands of spectators to come to watch the $30,000 to win race. With me now is the guy that set the track record and led all up to lap 86, Rodney Combs. Roddy, what an afternoon that was.
Well, it was. Anything at Pensboro, like you say, the stands was jam full, the hillside. The hillside over there for freebies. This place was packed, and it's just a history racetrack with, I love, the two bridges. And we led the thing, set the track record, like Petey said, by a good bit. Led it 80-something laps, 86, I think. And it was just a day to where it got later. It was in October. It got colder. We had our front end open and the air coming through. It just kept getting colder. In turn, the carburation just wasn't set for that. And it got to blubbering off into the corner. Then I couldn't get it going. And it just got worse. And here come old Jim Dunn. We helped him in the con seat to get in the race, started the tail. Of course, he got to change tires in the middle there at some point, which was smart. We felt we was good with tires, which we was. And but when it got colder, it just got to blubbering. And here come old Jim with one of the old WRC race cars here and working on the outside and come off of here. And I couldn't do nothing with him. And he drove down there. I mean, I run second, but I just couldn't catch back up. I mean, my car was just not running in the corners with the carburation that day. Getting that cold that late, that made yellow flags.
Roddy, you were a big favorite here at Pensboro. You had everything going for you. Set a new track record. The best dirt cars in the country were here that afternoon. And I know it was a disappointment, but you were the first guy to congratulate Jim in Victory Circle, and what a smile he had.
Well, like I said, I helped him get in through the consi to get into the main event and that stuff. So that, one of our cars, and to help Jim, we couldn't have been a better guy to help. I've won, I've lost, I've been second, I've been third. It ain't bad to run second. Yeah, it's 30,000 to 10,000, but it's part of it. You ain't gonna win them all. You try to win them all, and I won more of my fair share at Pensboro Speedway and West Virginia Speedway down the street. But you just accept that. And when I pulled in, Jim was out here, and like you say, I was the first one to him. And he's like lit up, like he won the lottery, which he did. That was a big race to win. And yeah, I'd love to have it on my resume, but I won many other ones here. So, you got to take the good with the bad, and don't kick and throw shit and be mad. That's part of it.
That moved Jim's career into another level. He was just about ready, struggling. Matter of fact, at that time, I know you worked with him close.
Yep.
And he was determined whether he was going to continue racing or go back to school teaching.
He did, and he didn't. He wasn't even going to finish racing that day. And I said, Jim, let's get it going. Let's get you in the concert. Let's get you in this race. Let's get you in this race. He didn't. He was just done. Didn't even want to try anymore. Well, we got him in, and then here he ended up doing this by changing tires, doing the right thing, good car, good driver, and he pulled it off. He beat the best. I mean, I ain't saying I'm the best, but I was one of them up there. I led the thing, and we had an easy run going until that started happening. But, it's just part of it. You win, you lose, and, you finish first. You got to finish first to finish, and it just... it was just a great day. I mean, I've had a lot of great days at Pensboro Speedway.
Well, you saw the best day for Jim Dunn, then you saw the worst. Just 2 years later, Paducah, Kentucky, 1983, Jim Dunn lost his life. And I know that affected you, affected Mark, affected everybody in dirt track racing. Jim's death, though, a lot of changes were made after that and for the veteran.
Well, there were safety stuff more done. After that, it was a freak. Years ago, I sort of blocked that out. It was him and I and Jack Boggs. We all three could have been there. And, to watch that happen and be part of it and, losing Jim and us having to go on. I know Jim would have wanted that, but, it was the worst thing in the world. Nothing world worse than fire. I've been in them in pavement cars. I've been in the fire. I've held them with bogle goggles. So there wasn't nothing worse than how that happened. And then at Paducah Speedway, there was no frickin' fire truck. There was no ambulance. We didn't know this. We thought this shit was around there somewhere, and it wasn't. So, when I got out and Boggs got out, it was done it's done blazing. You know, we'll just say I love the guy and sorry for the loss. Everybody knows that, how much it hurt the world, the people, the Dunn fans, the Dunn crew guys right there, Bondo, all these guys. You know, it was just the saddest thing in the world. I mean, you can't explain, first time I've ever talked about it, you can't explain what it meant and how bad it hurt to see that happen. It's like, this ain't happening. And it did. You know, it just, so sad.
Well, Rodney, thanks for taking time out. I know this car is special to you, and thanks for the time here this
Not a
afternoon.
problem. Yes, it is. And like I say, it was one of Mark and I's WRC cars, and Bondo and the guys, you know, I mean, it was just the best. You know, we just got to work with so many great guys with the WRC race cars all over the country, and this is one that always come to mind that you wanted to help. He was just that type of a great guy.
Thank you, Rodney. Well, that ends it from Pensboro Speedway here on the West Virginia Racing Heritage Network.